There are a lot of RPGs I'm looking forward to playing in 2025. Will I get to all of them? Nobody knows. But damn it, I'll try. But before I put some amazing RPGs on your radar, be sure to like and hit that subscribe button. If you don't, the game you want most on this list will be delayed. Number 9. Let's start off with something trashy, a game that's just garbage. Kingdoms of the Dump is an SNES-styled RPG where you follow the trash can knight Dustin Binsley on a mission to save the trash-picked king, while fighting your way through the lands of Phil against a toxic gremlin army. What initially put this game on my radar is not only the SNES style, but how developers fully lean into its rubbish theme. I love that the creators were former janitors and took their experience and transformed it into something magical, and frankly hilarious. Watching the trailers and catching so many little puns, one of my favorites is Dustin, the trash can, seems to have a rival named Sir Bluebin, which is recycling. Like, come on, that's great. Or flying on a dragonfly. This game is pure gold. Kingdoms of the Dump looks amazing. From the pixel art, the music is fantastic. I love that we have light platforming for a little exploration, character field skills, a world map, classic turn-based battles, no random encounters. It has all my favorite things. Kingdoms of the Dump, releasing on Steam 2025. Wishlist it now. Number 8. So I played this game on a console you may or may not have heard of called the Vita. The PlayStation Vita. Freedom Wars is getting remastered. Yeah, I too am wondering who asked for this, but I'm not mad. I played the game back in the day and sadly I never got free, so perhaps this is my second chance. For those who didn't have a Vita and thus never heard of the game, Freedom Wars is about, well, freedom. You play as Light Yagami. Okay, not really, but the joke was there. You customize a character and you take on these giant beasties to reduce your sentencing. It's an action RPG. You and other players from around the world get together to fight these large enemies. You have this dope-ass grappling whip you can use to zip across the field, and most importantly, yank enemies into the dirt. Each of the thorn whips can do different things, like heal or set traps. The idea is to do your panopticon, or think of it as your district, honor, because if memory serves me correctly, I'm pretty sure there were leaderboards that showed you where you landed amongst other players. It was a really cool idea. Also, you had androids that you could send out and collect items or save civilians while you distract the monsters. It was a lot of fun and actually one of the few games where I played with friends. It was a daily routine, although sadly it wasn't enough because like I said, I never broke my chains. But I'm hoping with this remaster, and if I can find a truly dedicated group of people to play, I can finally reclaim my freedom. Freedom Wars, set to release January 10th, 2025 for PlayStation 4, 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Number 7. The indie game scene is strong, and Rio Games is coming in hot with Threads of Time. This game is unabashedly inspired by Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy, but the trailer screams Chrono Trigger, seeing the characters leap through various times. And can we just appreciate the trailer for a second? I love the switch between animation and game. Both art and graphics look stunning. It's crazy that Chrono Trigger 30 years later is still inspiring people to this day. First we're shown this gorgeous fantasy world, dragons flying over open waters, something about a blacksmith village with dinosaurs, familiar. Next we're jumping into the future, city lights, robots, to an apocalyptic realm where we see another clearly robo-inspired character. It's an absolute beauty of a game. Threads of Time is coming out on Xbox and Steam, and doesn't have a release date yet, but it's on this list because I'm putting my will out into the universe that it releases in 2025. Wishlist it now. Number 6. Shocker to no one because I made 2 videos on it already. Trails in the Sky, the first. I am still in shock when this was first revealed, and in a sizzle reel no less. It came and went and it was nearly the highlight of the Nintendo Direct. So I started my Trails of Journey this year, and I actually started with Trails in the Sky, the first chapter. And while it's slow, I really did enjoy my time with it. Falcom said earlier in the year that they wanted to do something for folks who wanted to get into the series, but didn't know where to start, or how to start. Well, this is it, baby, from the very beginning. Remade in all of its cel-shaded glory. It's bright, it's colorful, it's inviting. It looks like it's incorporating a lot of systems from later Kiseki games, such as assisting or breaking enemies. We have a mix of action and turn-based combat, it seems, and it looks really promising. The only thing that concerns me is if they'll be able to make the pacing any better. I don't think so unless they're willing to remove side quests. Doubtful. But that aside, they shared some iconic scenes from the beginnings of the game, and it looks better than what I could have imagined. One of the best things about every Kiseki game are the characters. They are some of the most lively, rambunctious, diverse, colorful castings you'll ever meet. And really seeing them grow along with the continent of Zemuria expand over countless games is nothing short of fascinating. The president of Falcom, Toshihiro Kondo, also mentioned that if the game goes over well, they'll be able to continue making Trails in the Sky 2nd chapter and Trails in the Sky the 3rd. So y'all better pull up, because let me tell you, these Kiseki games love their cliffhangers. And just imagine playing the remaster and not garnering enough attention to not know what happens next. Could not be me. Trails in the Sky, the first, will be available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and Steam. Slated to release fall of 2025. Number 5. This surprised a lot of people. We were all so certain we were getting Tales of Exilia, but instead we got Tales of Grace's F. And you know, I'm not mad about it. It's my favorite Tales of game after all. I will shout its greatness from the rooftops. It was recently announced that Tales of is on a quest to remaster the favorites, and following Symphonia and Vesperia's remasters, we are surprisingly getting Grace's F. Originally, rumors were flying about Exilia. Originally out in America in 2012, Tales of Grace's F is one of the more divisive Tales of games. The story was heavily criticized because, well, it's the power of friendship, the game. But I don't care, I love it. And what JRPG doesn't have the good old friendship talk? This game just has a little more of it, that's all. I love the cast. Mostly a band of childhood friends who turn into a found family or rekindled family. But where the Tales fandom comes together for this game is the gameplay. It has the best, the smoothest, the silkiest gameplay of all the Tales games. And I've played all the modern ones except Legendia. It's snappy, it's rewarding, perfectly guarding and dodging. Even if you aren't an expert in action games, it will make you feel like you are. And for you FPS junkies out there, it's running at a smooth 60 frames if you play on PlayStation or PC. Nintendo fans, sorry, you're stuck at 30. Even so, the remaster is coming with all sorts of new bells and whistles, enhanced visuals, original DLC included, and more. So don't let anyone try to dissuade you from playing not only my favorite action RPG of all time, but the best Tales of game. And yeah, I hear you, Tales of the Abyss is great too, it's true. But look forward to Tales of Grace's F releasing on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Steam, and Nintendo Switch, January 17th, 2025. Number 4! So there is one action RPG series that vies for my affection against Tales of, and that is Ys. And one of my favorite Ys games is Ys Origin. And guess what? They happen to be releasing an Ys game that uses Ys Origin's engine, Oath and Felghana. Believe it or not, I had no interest in this game. I was really waiting for Ark of Napishtim, but the more and more trailers I saw of this game, I couldn't deny myself. This game looks amazing. Ys has always been about the action. Story is there, but I've never met someone who's like, man, Ys's storytelling is top tier. Nah, this series is about good old-fashioned hack and slash combat, high-octane boss fights, and always an incredible soundtrack. This will be the first game I play that you only play as Adol. I've played Ys Memories of Celceta, Ys 8, and Origin, and normally you have party members, and Origin is a special case where you don't play as Adol at all, and is a prequel to Ys 1 and 2. And fun fact, Oath and Felghana is a remake of Ys 3. Based on the trailers, a few changes are the art. Personally, I'm not a fan of either. If there's one weak link in Falcom, it's the art. Although it's gotten better, you can have the original art or the new. And there is voice acting this time around, which is always a welcomed addition. And that's all I know based on the trailers, and I don't want to know more because I plan on playing. Ys Oath and Felghana is releasing on PlayStation 4, 5, and Nintendo Switch on January 7th, 2025. Number 3! So this is the last game on this list that I've already played, and let me tell you, it's one of the greatest games of all time. Suikoden 1 and 2 Remastered. I am not exaggerating when I say Suikoden 2 is one of the best JRPGs of all time. It may not be my favorite, but if someone said this was the best JRPG of all time, they wouldn't be wrong. It's probably the best paced JRPG I've ever played. Always moving forward and no nonsensical bullshit. If you're new to the series, Suikoden is about war. You raise a rebel army to fight the corrupt empires. There are 108 stars of destiny, or shall I say recruitable characters. Some join you in battle, others take a more supportive role, maintaining extra storage and manning the shops. Use the power of the runes to thwart your foes and crumble the evil empire. And I know, I gassed Suikoden 2 up, and rightfully so, but Suikoden 1 isn't anything to sleep on either. It's just that Suikoden 2 takes everything, and I mean everything about Suikoden 1, and makes it better. Okay, not everything, the war battles are still better in Suikoden 1. That aside, you can run, you can equip more runes for better character building, the story and characters are exceptionally better, prepare to meet one of the greatest JRPG villains of your life, and brace yourself for 3 types of of battles: your standard turn-based battle, war battles, and duels. Some of the most intense moments in gaming are credited to Suikoden on duels alone. Plus, the graphics have been updated and look phenomenal, as does the gorgeous redone art. It's spectacular and worth every drop of glowing praise. You can jump right into Suikoden 2, but why not appreciate the growth and start with the first game? Plus, you'll appreciate some of the character glow-ups if you meet them in the first game. It's truly a treat, and if you're interested in hearing more, click above as I've reviewed Suikoden 1 and 2, and let me know if you're interested in a re-review, cause you know, I think I might. Suikoden Remastered releases on PlayStation 4, 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and Steam, March 6, 2025. Number 2. I'm not a fan of realism in my gaming, but there are exceptions. One of them being Clare Obscure Expedition 33. A paintress wakes and paints a new number that ticks down every year, and everyone of that age vanishes into nothingness. Every year she paints again. Every year folks hope to set out on an expedition to stop the paintress, as they're tired of losing their loved ones. And that's all I know, and that's all I want to know. I was initially introduced to this game when I went to New York for Atlas's Metaphor event. Dreamcast Guy and Super Derek put it on my radar, and one trailer later I'm like, I'm in. You fight these eldritch horror monsters, it's turn-based, and I think that's super unique. I don't think I know of any turn-based hyper-realistic games, so in a bizarre way, it's kind of refreshing. Clare Obscure Expedition 33 releases spring 2025 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and Steam. Number 1. I've been back on my retro RPG kick, and what perfect timing, because Lunar Remastered Collection is coming. This features both Lunar 1 and 2, and like Expedition 33, I don't know anything about it. What I do know is I love the pixel art, and more importantly, I love the art direction. It's just that classic 90s look, it's what I grew up on. Just watching the trailer and not having a clue about it made me feel nostalgic. Honestly, it's kind of giving Grandia, but I wonder if that's because the publisher is gung-ho, and they were responsible for the Grandia Remastered Collection. Anyways, I've heard nothing but great things about Lunar, and a lot of you have pestered me to play this, which I'm more than excited to, so definitely look forward to a video on that. Releasing on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, Nintendo Switch, and PC, coming spring 2025. And there you have 8 of my most anticipated games of 2025 thus far. I have a feeling there are going to be some surprises come next winter and fall, and if I miss a game that you're hyped for, let me know in the comments. And yes, I can hear you Xenoblade Chronicle X fans already. If you like this coverage, be sure to like and subscribe, and check out my other videos like Suikoden and Tales of Grace's F, and join the Patreon. Once again, thank you all for watching, and until next time, mwah!